For more, let's welcome in former New York Congresswoman and board member at the Independent Women's Forum, Nan Hayworth, the CEO of Chickasaw Bank, former Oklahoma House Speaker and current Senate candidate T.W. Shannon back with us this morning, and former Trump campaign aide and Newsmax contributor Rick Gates with us. Great to have you all on this morning. Good to see you all. Happy Tuesday. T.W., I want to start with you. What do you make of the sudden victory lap coming out of the White House over the last 24 hours when it comes to gas prices?
Well, listen, I've been traveling the state of Oklahoma campaigning for my United States Senate race, and I will tell you, there's nothing to celebrate. When I talk to Oklahomans, they are hurting. We talked to a lady the other day who was in Murray County who's having to travel back and forth across county lines, and she's going to have to quit her job because she can't afford the Biden crisis, the Biden economy that is causing the crisis across America. There's nothing to celebrate here, and the fact that Joe Biden is even trying to take credit for the falling gas prices, the truth is, he has created a scenario where Americans can't succeed because our energy costs are too high. We can't afford Joe Biden. We can't afford his policies. And Americans are hurting because of the ineptitude and, frankly, the gross negligence we see out of this White House.
Nan, what do you make of this?
Look, it's very clear, Rob, that Joe Biden is a fool expecting Americans to become fools with him, and we are tired of it. As TW just said, we know what's before our eyes. The cost of everything has gone up in this country. This is the same administration that celebrated in the summer of 2001 because your 4th of July barbecue cost 16 cents less. Meanwhile, the cost of everything is rising. We still can't get baby formula on the shelves. I mean, if anything is indicative of a crisis, and Biden will not do, contra Jared Bernstein, Biden will not do the single thing that would relieve all of this pressure and the global pressure and disruption around the world caused by Putin and other crises. Remove the throttles from American domestic energy.
Rick, take a listen to CJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary yesterday, getting a little pushback on taking credit for the sudden dip in gas prices. Listen.
We have seen gas prices go down in the past 34 straight days.
Aren't they still
go down
$2 a gallon higher than when you guys took office, though?
First of all, we have to look at the impact of how we got there, right? You think about the war that Russia has taken on in Ukraine, an unmitigated war, and a war that is brutal and that has had an effect on the price gases going up, almost $2. We have talked about that endlessly.
Oh no, Rick, that's why she's overmatched in her job. That is the one thing you can't say. If you're going to take credit for falling gas prices, the war must be over. Right, because Putin's price hike happened because of this war, which is now in day number 146. We'll talk with General Blaine Holt in a minute. He's here in studio with us. But, Rick, you can't have it both ways, can you?
No, not at all. And how quickly the blame game comes back, with the Biden administration. And look, a few cents off of a gallon of gas is not a victory lap by any stretch, particularly when it's not just gas prices have increased, but it's almost in every category of every item across America. And this is what's going to continue to plague the Biden administration as we get closer to the midterms. He had an opportunity several months ago to change his policy direction. He didn't do it. Now he's run out of time. But in this case, the White House is going to take any and every victory it can. So the opportunity for lower gas prices, they're going to throw it in everybody's face, taking credit for it. But they're still going to point the finger at everything else, Putin included, for the blame when those gas prices are going to continue to go up. They are going to go up again. There's no doubt about it.
And I will say, so gas prices have fallen for 34 straight days. And I was right here on Wake Up America every morning in April and May when gas prices were going up, talking about that every day. So, yes, they are going down. But we should not be. National average today is $4.49 a gallon. That is nothing to celebrate. Okay, CNBC with a headline this morning. Apparently, Gavin Newsom, we expected this, is fundraising ahead of a possible run in 2024 if Joe Biden decides not to run again. But another name is apparently fundraising as well, and that is Kamala Harris. And this morning's panel is perfect. Rick, you've been working for politicians at the highest level for many years. TW, you're a candidate for the Senate in Oklahoma right now. Nan, you served in Congress. How strange. We're 18 months to the day almost. Tomorrow will mark 18 months of Joe Biden in office. How strange is it, Nan, for Kamala Harris to be quietly fundraising for 2024. Think about that. That would be like George H.W. Bush in 1982, Ronald Reagan's first term, quietly fundraising for 1988, and Al Gore doing it for 2000, but in 1992, and Mike Pence doing it in 2018 ahead of 2020. How bizarre is this?
Well, we live in bizarro world right now, Rob, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Kamala Harris is remarkably ambitious. Her ambitions far outstrip her inherent talents, although you wouldn't be able to tell her that based on her elevated position. Everyone knows what this proves, Rob, is that everybody knows that Joe Biden has, from the very start, been a lame duck president. That's why it's laughable that Dr. Fauci would talk about Biden's first term. So, no, Kamala Harris's ego and her own marvelous cluelessness does not surprise me at all that she would be raising funds. She doesn't care about Joe Biden. Nobody does.
TW?
Yeah, Rob, this was the plan all along. I've said this from the very beginning. The Democrats who are entrenched in identity politics, they want the mantra, regardless of what it costs the country, regardless of what the qualifications are and the talents are of the individual in the office. They want to hold the moniker of having the first African-American woman president, period, at all costs, whether it cost us our standing in the free world, whether it cost us lives during COVID, regardless of the circumstances. The Democrats want to be able to hold the moniker that they had the first African-American woman president. And frankly, this is the wrong woman president. I'm all for celebrating first. But the truth is, Kamala Harris has abandoned the southern border. She's been missing in action there. She has embarrassed us before the very world that she hopes to represent us in. And the truth is, Joe Biden is no better. The Democrats are without a plan, and they're without a candidate, and they're searching. If they're coming to Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, things look very good for Republicans in 2024, regardless of who our candidate is.
Rick, go ahead. 15 seconds.
Yeah, Rob, I was just going to say, this is actually very common, and it's kind of a two-part process. Any candidate very early on, whether they're inside a presidential administration or externally, has to create kind of a finance committee. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, effort to put these together. Whether they make a decision on running or not, that comes later at a point where they, do a gut check and decide whether or not they have the ability to do it. But not surprised that any of them are going to do it. There are going to be a lot of Republicans doing it as well.
Not surprised at Gavin Newsom, but I'm telling you, if Mike Pence did this to Trump in 2018, 18 months into his campaign, Trump would dump Pence in 2020 and run with somebody else. It's a first term. Joe Biden just got elected. 81 million people apparently voted for this guy, the most popular president ever. And all of a sudden, his vice president is thinking, maybe I'll run in 2024. To me, that is just really unusual. Panel, we have a lot more to get to. As you hinted at, Dr. Fauci announced his pending retirement, although only Dr. Fauci would do that and then leave a 3-year window to that at age 82 and a half, however old he is. Panel, we'll pick this back up top of the hour. Thank you, Nan Hayworth, TW Shannon, Rick Gates. Let's check.